Hi, I'm Federico Genoese-Zerbi. I'm the General Manager for Ab Initio Operations in Southern Europe. I'm also a data governance practitioner. I've been working in data governance since I worked at a very large bank in the United States in 2003. I want to talk a little bit about data governance, what it is and why it's important. But most fundamentally, I want to talk about the evolution of data governance over time and how we have learned more and more about what makes effective data governance and where we're seeing that the market is evolving and the practice and the discipline are evolving. So data governance is all about making sure that what you have in terms of data is what you expect to have in terms of data so that you're using it appropriately for your corporate processes and for your business processes. When I started working in data governance in 2003, the thought was that if data was in a database table or in a structured storage system, then that was good. That was all you really needed. But that was not quite enough, because you can have data in a database table and not quite be sure what is inside it. It can evolve over years and lots of different software processes, and then you lose track of what it really is. And a good analogy is that if somebody handed me this bottle, and let's imagine that this bottle is actually a database table and the liquid inside it is the data, would I feel comfortable drinking it? Or by analogy, would I feel comfortable using the data for a business critical process inside my organization? And I can certainly look at the bottle. It's a clear bottle. I can see that it's got a liquid in it. It's a clear liquid. But would I feel comfortable drinking it? And the answer is no. There are lots of clear liquids in clear bottles that could really hurt me. So I would not feel comfortable if somebody just handed me this bottle and said, drink from it. So the first wave of data governance was all about labeling the data, creating metadata. And metadata became a way of describing the data. The very name implies that it's description or data about data. So if somebody handed me this bottle that has a label in it, I can read the metadata. I can tell that it says that it's seltzer, and in fact, it says that it's black cherry seltzer. If I want more information about it, I can look at the label, and I can see in the back that it has no calories. I can look at the total fat, sodium content. I can get a better idea of what is in it. And at this point, I'm pretty comfortable that I can drink this and it's not going to hurt me. So the very first approach to data governance was to label data, to create metadata like this. But is the label necessarily accurate? And this is one of the questions that people started asking. And after everybody built data governance projects based on metadata, then there was a realization that metadata is only as accurate as the processes that create it. Data is created through a whole bunch of different IT processes that are subject to developers interpreting specifications. They're subject to following a software development life cycle, and they can make mistakes. They might forget to document something. They might do it after the fact. And what you could end up with is that the metadata does not really reflect what you have in the data. And the analogy, of course, in the food industry is we read about recalls all the time where something that should be safe, that is labeled in a certain way, actually is different and can hurt you. And the answer to this quandary, where we're seeing the industry going, is to the concept of metadata-driven data. So if you can imagine that instead of building the metadata after you have the data, you actually use the metadata to create your data by integrated and automated development process, then you can be much more confident that what you actually have in your database tables and in your data lake and your lake houses and everywhere you have data really is what you think it is. So instead of having an extensive software development life cycle, you start by defining what you want the data to be, by creating the metadata for the data that you want, and allowing an automated system, a metadata-driven system, to create the data, populate your data lake, populate your data lake house, so that at the end of the day, you know that the label is accurate, but it's not accurate because somebody documented it. It's accurate because it was actually used as a process, as a recipe for creating the very data that you need for your business processes.